G'day there. Did you know that there is definitely a dark side to the carnivore diet? In this little video, I wanted to explain what I mean and share some of my personal story with you. I wanted just to talk about the carnivore diet and why I believe it has a dark side. You see, any diet means that you have restricted your eating. And some diets, those restrictions are more severe than other diets. And the carnivore diet is, of all diets, probably the most restrictive diet of all. You see, any restrictive diet can isolate you because we live in a culture where food is part of just about everything we do. I could not imagine a social gathering of any kind, be it your family, your workmates, or whoever it is with, that wouldn't involve food. Food is central to being together as people. And it's fundamental to community, to belonging. To have a seat at the table with your family and friends is one of the greatest honours and privileges in life, I believe. And at the time of filming this, we're coming up to the Christmas break, and of course, those food gatherings, as I call them, become even more prevalent than ever and more important than ever. And look, I want to tell you, you will know this, that nobody ever goes to a gathering of family or friends where there's food and really wants to be the odd person out. We just don't want that or desire that for ourselves. That person that's really picky about what they will eat and won't eat and going through the menu saying, oh, I can't eat that and I can't eat that and I can't eat that. And everybody else is just thinking, come on, just relax a little. It's Christmas. Let your hair down. It won't hurt you. It won't kill you. Just be part of the group for once in your life. And so the subtle pressure comes with that restrictiveness of what you've chosen to eat or not to eat. And as I said, this sense of restrictiveness, is that a word? This sense of being restricted is not just the carnivore diet, it's true of all diets. I think of perhaps the vegan diet, which would be in many ways the opposite to the carnivore diet. And I look at the vegan diet from a restrictive point of view, and it is very restrictive. Vegans have cut out so many things from their diet in order to focus on what they want to eat in the belief that it's going to do their health some good. But there is a very real difference between the carnivore diet and any other restrictive diet that you can name. And that is that, say, going back to my example of vegans. The vegan diet is very restrictive, but it has become socially acceptable to be a vegan. And every restaurant you go into pretty much these days, if you look through the menu, somewhere on that menu there's going to be some vegan options. There might even be some keto options. There's often vegetarian options, but I am yet to see a menu yet that has some carnivore options. And sadly, for many people struggling with this, the carnivore diet just does not have any sort of acceptance like the keto diet or even the vegan diet might have. There's a real sense in which we are all alone on the carnivore diet. I believe that people on the carnivore diet are prone to be misunderstood more than people on any other diet. And the sad truth is that many people that you know, even people close to you, family and friends I'm talking about, will be offended at what you have chosen to eat, the diet you have chosen to embrace. Now, this offence may be spoken out, or sometimes it's even worse when it's not spoken out, but you can just tell by the facial expressions and the body language and the tone of voice that there is a judgment there. And what comes across initially as a little thing, you dwell on it and you fester on it and it becomes a big thing. I believe that anybody that's been on carnivore for any length of time will understand what I'm saying. And if you haven't been on carnivore, you probably won't understand, but that's quite okay. Until you've been there and felt it and experienced it, maybe you cannot fully understand it. That scene at the end of the first Lord of the Rings movie came to mind. That moment where Frodo realises that the Fellowship of the Ring has crumbled and that the people who were meant to be supporting him on his choice to carry the ring were now turning against him and were now questioning his motives. And so Frodo makes the bold announcement, I am going to Mordor alone. I am embracing this lifestyle. I am embracing this for my health, for my weight, for my well-being, for emotional clarity, for my mental health, for so many reasons, but I am going it alone. Nobody is coming with me. I have to do this entirely alone. But then, of course, I reflected that Frodo didn't go alone because he had a mad mate called Sam who responded to Frodo saying, of course you're going alone, but I am coming with you. And I tell you what, people like that are gold. People like that will come with you and understand you and be there when it all goes wrong and encourage you and lift you up. And even as we saw at the end of that movie, even carry you when you crash out completely. Thank God for the Sams. And there are many Sams in the carnivore community. And I think that should be our greatest calling and our greatest honour, to be a Sam to somebody else in this community. Let me just tell you quite quickly 3 reasons why you need a Sam in your life if you're on the carnivore diet. Number 1, a Sam can come along and give you a totally new perspective. Yes, carnivore diet is restrictive, but let me tell you how restrictive is diabetes. How restrictive is cancer? How restrictive is inflammation? How restrictive is multiple sclerosis? I was listening to a story just this week on YouTube of a girl, 44 years old, who told the story about how she had severe multiple sclerosis in her life. It debilitated her, and on carnivore, she has totally reversed it. And she said, once I was restricted, but now I'm not restricted. You see, it was a whole new perspective. Yes, you are restricted socially in many ways, and we have to acknowledge that. But let's put it up against what you're no longer restricted by, and that is being overweight, of being morbidly obese, of being diabetic, of being inflamed, of being all these other conditions. They are the real setbacks. They are the real restrictions in life. And maybe you need a Sam to come along and tap you on the shoulder and say, get rid of that poor me system. Look at what's come into your life. Look at the greater freedom you have because of all the restrictions that are no longer there, because you have new health, new mental clarity, new energy, a whole new life. You see, you may think it difficult that you turn up to a dinner with friends and feel greatly restricted because you can't eat what they eat. But just compare that for one moment to getting invited to a social gathering and you know you cannot go because your illness is debilitating and you cannot even get out of the door. You cannot even walk properly because of the debilitating illness in your life. That's real restriction. All right, the second thing a Sam might say to you on your carnivore diet, and that is to remind you, hey, you have a new mental clarity and a new sense of calm, all due to the carnivore diet. So you can handle stressful situations that you were never able to handle before. All due to you embracing the carnivore way of living. You see, think back prior to carnivore. When you were faced with a stressful situation, what did you do? I know what I did. Let me be brutally honest. I would turn to comfort food. I would want some chocolate. I would want something sweet. I want to indulge. I want to go shopping and spend excessive amounts of money. But now with mental clarity in my life, you can think through the issue more clearly. You have a new sense of calm and you've got the sense and the intelligence now to think before you make these decisions and to think that what I need now is not extra food, not any of these other props. now I'm in a much better place emotionally and physically and mentally and spiritually. In every way, I am in a better place. So instead of turning to garbage solutions, you choose something more holistic, more uplifting, more positive. And that's why this week, instead of writing up hate mail in my mind to the people who had upset me and rehearsing speeches over and over and getting myself in a greater mess than I was already in. Instead, you know what I did? As I said at the beginning, I got my canoe on top of the car, threw in the tent, bit of camping gear, and headed to the Gippsland Lakes just a couple of hours from here, and just spent 3 days paddling on the water, looking at the birds, listening to the sounds of nature, just being part of God's creation and finding rest and renewal and calm. And that was a much better solution for me. And I come home feeling my problems are only 1/10 the size they were before. So you might just need a Sam in your life to remind you of that mental clarity and the emotional stability that you've got now, and maybe prompt you to get back to doing something that you love, even just for a day or two like I did. Okay, one more thing a Sam might remind you of on Carnivore. A Sam might simply remind you of the wonderful, warm, loving, amazing, fantastic carnivore community. This carnivore community is wonderful. And you know what, folks? The carnivore community helps you heal. And if you're watching this video or you're in my Facebook group, the Carnivore Pensioner, and you're certainly invited to join that. If you're in that group, if you listen to my videos, if you connect with me in any way, then you are part of the reason that I am healing. And the realization comes through again and again that I could not heal without the carnivore community. I can't go to Mordor alone. I need Sams. I need Sams all around me that will keep me on the straight and narrow and speak life and sense and intelligence into me when I'm down and when I'm struggling and when I'm about to make a stupid decision because I'm upset with somebody who is judging me or withholding their approval of me in some way because of what I eat. So that's it, folks. That's all I wanted to say today. And just to encourage you, if you're on Carnivore, would you become a Sam to somebody near you? Find somebody near you on Carnivore and encourage them and be there for them. And when you are the one struggling, be vulnerable enough to reach out to a Sam in your community and say, I need help. I need some advice. I need a listening ear. I just need some company. I just need somebody to be with me right now. That's what it's all about. I do thank you for watching. I will see you on the next video. And until then, whatever you do, keep telling your story and keep being a Sam. God bless you.